Okay, so sort of the topic that I'm talking about is like sort of like fashion resellers in general and like the overpricing of like wanted goods solely because of brand name. So like over COVID and stuff, like after COVID, there was like a huge trend and surge in thrifting and stuff where it was like really trendy to go to the thrift store and get your clothes and all
Mhm.
that because it was like, oh, you can get vintage clothes for super cheap. Yeah, and everyone was like, this is so great because it's you're upcycling, you're reusing clothes that would have gone to a landfill. A lot of thrift stores as
Yeah.
well donate their money to charity and stuff. And like the pros did sort of outweigh the cons to a certain extent. Obviously, there were issues with now you're buying clothes that were meant for people who didn't have as much money,
Hmm.
which did cause some prices to go up, but everyone still keeps doing it. And it's pretty okay because there's so many clothes that go to the landfill. It's always, you know, there's no harm in it. But recently a huge problem which has occurred is that a lot of people who go to these things really like they go so often, like every single day. They've got a schedule for it, and they go solely to find not even clothes that they would wear for their own personal style anymore, but clothes to find to sell on another platform and get even more money from. And to me it's really ridiculous because you
Yeah.
go and you find this really nice winter coat that somebody or you could really enjoy, and you get it for $5 and it's great, and then you go and sell it for $50 and it's like you're kind of taking away what everyone's sort of built for, because then thrifters are going to put their prices up, then people who actually need the clothes aren't going to get their clothes and all that. And then fashion sort of once again starts revolving around like brand and stuff. When thrifting came out, it sort of stopped and everyone was like, just wear what you want. It's all clothes in the end.
Yeah.
But now branding has really come out. Like I had a guy who was wanting $150 for like a Carhartt jacket that he got for 15, and I'm like, what do you
Um,
mean? Like, okay.
I was actually, that reminded me because I remember when at back home, I work at a hospital. But one of the patients had like a really nice Carhartt jacket. And I had like said to the guy, "Oh, this jacket's great. Like, I'm gonna look for one on eBay." And they were like $100. And like, I'm in college, I'm broke. I can't afford that.
Literally. And then you'd go to a thrift store and the person next to you would come across the jacket and it's like, this is so nice. It's only $5. I'm gonna go sell it for even more. It's like, no, give it to someone who actually really wants the
Hmm.
jacket for themselves. Like it's ridiculous at this point.
So like what for you were mentioning like how there are a lot of these like resellers, like what like specific brands that are like that were used like go for the most, would you say?
Carhartt's one of them. Massive. Like anyone who has it is like, whoa. Um, I don't think about brands that much, but a lot of things that would seem vintage almost, or
Mhm.
like even vintage luxury goods, or any like now people are looking like you got to look at the stitching of the shirt and the tag to
Ooh,
find out if it was made in this certain year, and it's like just wear the shirt, man. Just wear the shirt. Like,
that's
come on.
crazy. I had no idea that like they were looking at like the stitching and like stuff like that.
It's too much. It's too much. Like you'd go and you would see people lined up outside for the stores to open on the days they know they get more clothes. And at this point, it's just so ridiculous.
That's crazy. I know like a lot of people, actually I know a few people that have like resold clothes and like they've made a lot of money off of it. But like I know places like Goodwill, they have like giant like bins where you can buy clothes by the pound.
hmm
Um, I know Goodwill is one of them, but like where else are like people actually finding these clothes besides like just there?
A lot of like local flea markets, I guess, garage sales, yard sales. There's a bunch of other like smaller chain thrift stores like Plato's Closet and
Yeah.
stuff. Are a lot of big ones, and then just like local ones. I know on the West Lafayette campus, we have like Millie's thrift store under the church and stuff, which is huge. But that's another example of like the one that's like for charity, and the prices are really good for those who actually need it. But a lot of people would frequent it and just end up taking away all like the actual nice clothes that could have gone to somebody who needs it.
Yeah, wow, that's like a lot. 'Cause like I don't know, it never used to be like that. I don't ever remember it being like that. I think so when I was in high school, thrifting like became like a really trendy thing to do.
Hmm.
Um, I've never really like gone. I've always wanted to. I don't know. I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't really bought a lot of my own clothes, like because I don't really think about it that much. But like, I don't know. It sounds like you feel like pretty passionate about this in the sense that like, I don't know, you feel that it's like pretty unfair to like, because there's a lot of people, especially now, like everything's a lot more expensive nowadays with food, clothes, just the cost of living in general. But like a lot of people are struggling. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a multi-dimensional issue as well, because like on one hand, you have people that are making money and this is a great side hustle for people that want to make extra money, but on the other hand, you have people that are losing money, you know?
Hmm. There's definitely like a lot of people who make a whole business out of this, where they would like you could pay somebody to go and thrift for you, like a specialized closet and stuff.
They're paying people to do this?
I know paying to go shopping is crazy, but you can
Wow.
earn like a lot of money from doing that. And
I
there's
didn't
definitely
know
a
that.
market for it, but the more you kind of do that, the more it ends up feeding into what thrifting was trying to move away from in the first place, which is like the overconsumption of clothes.
It's kind of like a contraindication or not contraindication, but like a contradiction. Yeah, that's what it was.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, that, like definitely I wasn't like aware that like I knew it was a thing, but like I wasn't aware that it was like jacking the prices up that much.
Hmm.
Like
Like,
besides like Carhartt, like what like in your personal experience, like what are some other like things that you've like seen that have like been like that?
um, I don't know. I'm really bad at remembering specific names and
You
brands.
good?
But I know on like the other spectrum, a lot of clothes, like right before thrifting became a huge thing, fast fashion was huge. So like buying from Shein and stuff was like massive. And so now thrift stores are flooded with that, but people aren't
Um,
buying those clothes because they deem it as a bad brand, even though
oh,
the clothes have already been made. So you're not really, there's no harm in buying them from the thrift store rather than like giving it straight to the manufacturer. But now it's just not by not buying them, it's just going in a loop again and is heading to the landfill.
I think like also like for the people that want to buy affordable clothes, like stuff from like Shein and like Temu, that's like not really high quality. A lot of
Hmm.
the products from those companies are produced in like sweatshops and unfair labor. And also like um there's like toxic chemicals on a lot of those products as well. Um so I think it's a lot worse for people that want affordable clothes because the clothes that actually would be affordable and the ones that
Hmm.
are available are of a lot lower quality than some of the more expensive or high-end brands.
Hmm. And you wanna know the funniest problem is? They're pricing Shein and Temu goods at the same price as the Carhartt goods.
Wow.
Like it's all the same price. So everyone, all the people who could afford like the better stuff are buying the better stuff and leaving the really bad stuff for a higher price. And it's like
Wow.
endless
That's
cycle.
cra Dude, that's crazy. I wasn't like aware of like how the market's been like flooded with essentially product that's a lot lower quality. I never really thought of that. All as I knew about the topic was that people were making a lot of money off of this. I never really thought of the downside or how it would affect other people that, rely on these things.
Hmm. I think we're past 8 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. Probably.
All right.
Yes.
You guys want to move on to the discussion now?
Yeah, that's good. Um, I think you did good. I think you had good posture and good eye contact. It showed that you were really interested throughout the whole discussion. Um, you showed you did a lot of head nods, which I felt like showed that you were engaged constantly, and I felt like gave a little bit of validation.
Yeah.
Talking about just the issues and showing that you agree. Um, you related to the issue by talking about your experience in the hospital and the Carhartt jacket. I thought that helped kind of, I felt like that did a good job relating to the issue and just kind of showing that you understand what's being brought up. You did a good job probing for questions, trying to keep the discussion flowing, felt natural. I felt like you did a good job showing interest throughout and just like giving feedback, and I felt like you had nice flow of things, just showing that you cared.
Yeah.
And that's
I felt like you did a really good job sort of like keeping the conversation going and stating like how you haven't really thought about it that way. It like made me really feel like the conversation was meaningful, that we had like both learned something from it, which was really nice. No, that it?
I think we're a little bit under.
Oh, really? Oh shoot. Um, I agree. Like, something I really liked when we were discussing is that, like, throughout the conversation, you were really engaged in it. You know, like small, like minimal encouragers and stuff, small things. Like, yeah, I agree with that and whatnot. Um, and like it felt very like a natural, normal conversation, which I really liked. It felt very casual and it felt really productive as well because we explored like so many different ways to view it, you know, like you bringing in your experiences or like wanting to know more about specific things that you kind of knew about
Mhm.
and stuff, which was really cool. And, like personal experiences and all that.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like there was a lot of emotion, good emotion throughout the whole thing. Showed that you guys both kind of had like a mutual interest on the topic, and it just showed that you both kind of had your ideas.
Yeah. All right. I think that concludes it. Let me stop the recording.